this is Keiko from Brooklyn Shoe Space. For Shoe Talks today, we're reconnecting with Lorena of Soul Survivor Shop up in Toronto. Last time we spoke, it's been a while, but the video didn't record. So this time, I hope that we can talk. We might go over some of the same similar questions, just because we couldn't save the last session. But yeah, during this pandemic, she moved. So let's see where she's at right now. She.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How's everything going? I want to say, like, what's new? Healthy? Are you guys okay?
Yeah, everyone is doing, the team has come back again, which has been so lovely.
That's
And
exciting.
since we last spoke, we actually moved to the shop. So that was sort of like the big change so far.
Yeah,
Um,
it
yeah,
takes
we
so
moved it into
long to
our,
move. Mm-hmm.
oh my God, yes. And you don't realize how much how you've accumulated over the years. And
Yeah,
I was trying my best to Marie Kondo my tools, but I'm so attached to some of them that I was like, I can't get rid of them.
yeah, yeah.
But
So,
yeah, it was a long process. It took us about maybe a month and a half to fully
wow.
move and be settled in. The main hardest thing that we had to take care of was moving the big finisher.
Yeah,
We had a hard time finding movers that were capable or willing to do it, because
yeah.
we were moving out of a basement unit into a second floor unit.
Oh my gosh.
So
Did you
that was nerve
did,
wracking.
did you use a crane or how
No,
did you do it?
lots of manpower. There was like four movers that came, and then moving it up to the second floor, I assisted, and two other people helped. It was seven of us, and we sort of like wrapped a rope around the machine, and people were pushing it and pulling it at the same time, and step by
Oh my
step.
gosh.
Yeah, and once it was in the space, I was like, oh my God, here it is. And the
Yeah.
movers made the joke of, if I'm ever moving, to not call them because they won't help me move. But
Yeah. I hope that you
so
don't have to move out of this space. Now you're settled for a little while, you know?
yeah, I hope so too. I think this will be a good space for us to transition into what's new with us, and also to grow into whatever else we are hoping to achieve with the business.
Okay.
So at least it's a space that it can withstand growth, and there, it's a. I'll give you like a quick tour after, but it's
Yeah.
open concept. We share the studio with another artist,
Uh-huh.
so that's really inspiring to just you know uh, be around other creative people and sort of see them
Yeah.
work and how things going, and it's a
Yeah.
that like the staff can safely move around and
Nice.
keep the distance that they need to keep, and yeah.
Nice. So
Mhm.
now that it's not on the ground floor, how do customers like bring their shoes to you? Do they mail them? What kind of system do you have?
Yeah. So we have now exclusively moved online only. So
Wow.
customers make appointments on our website, or they can call us, or some people DM,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
then we put them in like time slots that are available throughout the day. And we have an automated drop-off box that is in our lobby. So
Uh-huh.
people are given a designated like time and day to come. We give them the specialized code. They then enter the code in, place their items in there, or pick them up if there's finished items. And so
Oh,
everything's
wow.
been online, and the beginning of COVID kind of moved us into that transition anyway. So it
Uh-huh.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
The only difference is that we have to get customers used to the new location,
Yeah.
and I suppose be able to quote and explain everything virtually,
Yeah.
whether it's
Yeah.
through the phone or yeah. So
Yeah.
we've lost the intimate one-on-one, which is something we all miss, but
Yeah.
for now this makes sense,
Makes
and
sense.
we're still going to move forward for now
Yeah.
with this. Yeah.
Yeah. And do some clients want to talk with you so they would like have a phone like FaceTime with their shoe in the hand and that kind of
Yeah.
one-on-one?
For sure, we will have that totally available. Just, a lot of people send us like detailed photos via email, and we'll just to quote them, or phone calls. And if need be, like we'll go downstairs and discuss a repair, or if we need to do a fitting, then they can for sure come up. It's more so the walk in and out is something that we've eliminated just for the safety of our staff, and because the building itself is not, it's a commercial studio space, so it's not really like a retail space that is a street level.
Right. Wow, that's a big change.
Yeah.
Maybe
for sure.
For those who don't know you yet, I thought maybe we can travel back to the beginnings a little bit and how you started, and even like how Soul Survivors, the name came about, and like which locations you were at, and now you're here, and then maybe a tour of the space would be amazing.
For sure, yeah. So Soul Survivor has existed for 8 years under like my ownership. It was already an existing shoe repair shop that I worked at part-time. And then when the previous owner decided to sell the business, and I had already invested so much time apprenticing with another shoemaker, and then was trying to find work within that field in the trade, I was lucky enough to have found Soul Survivor. And then like I said, the previous owner wanted to sell it, so I found that it was the scariest and the best decision I should make to just take over the business and move forward that way. And it's been like a really fun journey. Like, it's obviously, owning a business is so hard, and there's so many ups and downs, and the road takes you on different ways and expect you would go on. But within the first year of owning the business, we opened up a second location. We had 15 employees at one point, everyone that apprenticed under me. And then, then I had to make the decision of like, do I just want to have multiple locations and manage staff only and manage the spaces, or do I actually want to get back to what I love to do, and that's working with my hand and connecting with the craft? So I then decided after 4 years to go back to the original location only, which is in Kensington Market. And then as of August of this year, then we had to move and close Kensington, which was really hard to do because it was the place that really lifted us up as a community and made us who we are. And the space itself was adorable,
so
and
lovely.
People felt like they was stepping through time coming down there. But times are changing, and I think customers' needs are changing, and we were as a team ready for that change. So as much as we missed that aspect of the business, and we missed the one-on-one connection, and the market as well, Kensington Market, we're embracing where we are right now, and we're so excited to just focus ahead,
Oops, for a second. And then how many of you are back together now?
Oh, sorry.
How many of you are back together now?
So the four, so it's me and then the 4 employees. We did have 3 apprentices prior to COVID. They will all come back hopefully in the new year. We just kind of want to transition into the rest of the year to focus on the business and the changes that we're implementing. Because we're losing the one-on-one aspect, we really need to focus on online. So we're working on coming up with videos of how to, perhaps like videos of in the shop and how we repair things, requests for workshops, whereas this space can actually host that, and I'm excited for that. And so we just want to like really tighten those aspects of the business so that we can move forward, and then make space for new staff to come in and new apprentices, so that they can be part of that change as well.
Oh, so cool. Question, how does your name come about?
The name of the shop? So it was already named Soul Survivor, and and that's what made me fall in love with it. So I kept
that's so cool. You kept the name.
I kept the name, and I love making the pun jokes of like, let us save your
Yeah.
soul. Because I think there's such a connection from like, grounded as in your
Yeah.
souls, but then also what
Yeah.
like makes your actual soul
Yeah.
happy. And I
Oh,
love that
totally.
juxtaposition and the connection between the two. Um,
Totally.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm so excited about the classes. Like, would you also teach shoe repair? Like, or do you think you'll do something from scratch?
Yeah. I think perhaps first just from scratch. I did
Hmm.
do privates where someone wanted to learn how to repair their own shoes. The
Hmm.
the only thing with that is, as you know, like the way shoes are manufactured, the process of learning how to repair that is just takes longer than you teaching a 3 to 5 hour workshop on making something.
Yeah.
And I think it's perhaps also maybe more rewarding to someone to start something from scratch and design it themselves and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
and make it. For repair, there's just way too many aspects you need to know about and learn, which I
Yeah.
realized when I did privates with customers that I had to do majority of the work, and I felt terrible because they could really just watch and do a couple of things, but in order to
Yeah.
give them something that they want to wear again because it's been repaired,
Yeah.
it didn't make sense too much. But perhaps maybe I
Yeah.
can come up with a better way, and I should figure it
Yeah,
out.
no, I'm just curious because there's actually no school for like shoe repair. There's shoemaking
Yeah,
classes and you know, you would learn a little bit about like repairing maybe, but not to an extent. So I was wondering, and that's also why you guys probably have apprentices so that they can take a longer time to learn.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's hard to find employees that already know that
yeah,
world. So there's
yeah,
nothing in Canada that I know of any trade schooling for shoe repair. I know in
yeah,
Germany, for example, there is trade schooling for shoe
yeah,
repair, but the issue that they're having there, when I talk to some people, is that their program is too long. Whereas like they require 4 year schooling, and then
four,
you have
four,
to do 4 years.
four.
Yeah, and then you have to do 6 years of apprenticing before you are allowed by the government to open up your own shoe repair shop. So I think like to have to invest 10 years to be able to start your own business is not probably the most incentive for some people. So I think like there hopefully in the future we can find a middle point where, because I think the
Yeah,
craft to learn it properly is so important.
yeah,
And I appreciate that if someone does 4 years of schooling, that they're doing it correct. Because we hear
yeah, yeah,
stories of people going to cobbler shops, being charged an arm and a leg, and then getting something that broke within 2 days, or getting something that looks terrible.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we've
yeah.
even seen repairs come from other shops that, we wish that person would have just paid attention or actually, because
Right,
our motto is like, if we're not happy with it, not leaving the door. If we
right,
feel like that stitch doesn't look right, let's redo
right.
it. Or if we feel the shoe needs a polish, like let's just give it a polish, even if the
Yeah.
customer didn't ask for
Oh,
it. That kind of stuff.
totally,
It's all about the
totally,
details.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just because some younger people who's like looking to get into shoe repair, possibly. Like I was wondering what the best way was, and was it to be like, yeah. Anyway, I thought maybe
Yeah.
it'll be something in the future that I guess they can reach out to you for to like have for
For sure.
guidance, I
Yeah. I
guess.
mean, I'm yeah,
I'm
and
excited about
I'm
that.
still, yeah, I'm still learning, but I'm always happy to share any knowledge that I have with
Yeah.
people. But I would say if anyone wants to learn anything, it's just start doing it yourself and figure it out. Like you can take apart your own shoes and kind of see the steps of like where the heel would go and what type of fastening they use to attach the heel, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I think like more so people are very interested in customizing. So even
Right.
like they consider it repair, but really it's like taking sneakers and doing the sole swap. So that would be more of
Yeah.
a customization, and
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah.
people are very interested in, which I
And
guess
all
falls into the
right.
shoemaking classes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on asking you all these questions about your bits of your daily life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite tool that you can't live without? I mean, I asked you this before too, but let's do this
Yeah.
again.
Okay, yeah. Let me go grab it real quick. So last time I showed you, I was like, I love my hammer, and then look at what happened at the move.
Oh no! What happened? Did it just
So I need
come out or did it break?
it broke. Yeah,
Broke.
we were using it to I needed a hammer real quick to fix something in the shop when we were moving, and I think it just wasn't for that, you know. So this is my next project. I get to like actually connect with my hammer in a whole nother level. Like I get to fix it,
Yeah.
which I've never had to do, and then I want to polish
Yeah.
the head as well. And I think it'll be a nice transition of like the new hammer, so to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But yeah, still to this day, it's my favorite tool.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like what I love about the new space too is like everything is a bit more visible and like there's like natural light and you can see the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'll if you
Do you
want,
think
I'll
we
show
can?
it to you.
Yeah, I would love that. Let's check out your space.
Yeah. So this is like the big finisher that we brought in.
Wow.
So yeah, the ceilings, that's like a piece of art from
the ceilings are so tall.
The ceilings are so tall, and we
Yeah,
have like
because
natural
you were in the
daylight.
basement space before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All this beautiful light. The patcher is right here, so we can be sewing and looking at things. And then we have sort of like our majority of our tools, and then sort of office desk. This is one of the girls, Zoe, and then and then that's Angela. And and then we have this cool wall that we like built to put all of our threads and stuff, which we didn't have before. We built like a loft space too for storage in the back, and then you know, our buffer, and then this is all of the other tools that we have.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're super organized.
Yeah, I mean, I love it visually. It's nice when things are organized, and then our vintage singer, and then I'm also very excited. I just a post machine from another shoemaker that is getting delivered October 4th. So I'm so stoked to get to like add that to the family of machinery and tools. And then you didn't see this guy last time. The Landis is right there.
Oh wow.
That's sort of where we clean all of our shoes. And then this is the artist space that we share it with. So it's really cool to just, you know, be able to share the space with a creative person and see what they're doing. So yeah.
That's great. Chase Custom Boots asks, what brand? Do you think what brand of high post? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, the post machine, it's a puff. It's a single and double needle option. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then do you use the outsole stitcher often?
No, I've used it like a couple of times at the Dundas shop. And then when we closed the Dundas shop, I moved it here. And rather than bringing things back and forth, we just did things by hand at Kensington. I'm going to clean it. I ordered a motor and we're going to set it up. So it'll be fun to like teach the staff how to use it and to just get that going as well.
Sorry, I just faster. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Yeah.
Something in there.
I shocked you. I showed you my Landis cake.
Yeah. Oh, but that's so cool that you have the option to use it, you know?
Yeah.
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 Well,
like, I think we talked about it last time too. Yeah. I was saying it's so important to like learn it by hand first, and then you have the option to do it with the machine and make life so much easier. Even though I know that like the outsole stitches can be very temperamental and it takes a while to really get them running smoothly, but I think that in itself is also a good learning experience, you know?
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Do you prefer, or like, what's the percentage of male, female shoes that you get?
I would say fall, winter, we get more male footwear. A lot of Red Wing boots. It's sort of like, you know, our busiest season for that. I'm not sure what this year is going to look like during fall, winter. Like if, you know, is there going to be another lockdown, or will people be walking as much as what they used to? But like we are noticing that it's starting to pick up. So hopefully like that momentum will keep going. And then like, so usually it's a lot of like women's footwear, because like we get a lot of sandals and just more like the finer things. And of course wedding season too, everyone's bringing their heels and stuff like that, or during Pride, you know, we do a lot of high heel stuff, and like, you know, customizing and glitterizing up boots, that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I would say yeah, it's a half, but depending on the season, it definitely fluctuates and changes on like the type of customer we get.
That's cool. What's the style of shoes you like to repair the most?
I mean, I love Red Wings because they're made really well, and it just makes our we know that like the way we repair them will be exactly how they were when they were made, so that's really satisfying. But honestly, any any stitched soles are great. Any like actual leather is preferred. But
yeah,
obviously what makes us stand out, or what helps us evolve as cobblers, is like working with materials that are much more difficult. So you know, sneakers, obviously that's always popular, but they can be temperamental, depending on how old they are, or if the material is disintegrating, or you know, that kind of stuff. But ideally, well-made shoes make our life so much easier.
Yeah. Do you ever say no to a customer when they come with some shoes that's just beyond repairable, or maybe a material that's just not going to work? Or...
Yeah, for sure. There are some shoes that are just not worth it. And sometimes we tend to just, you know, let them know ahead of time before quoting. Sometimes customers really are attached to their shoes and they're like, no, like, what can you do? But then the problem is that it ends up being so expensive that they end up saying, I might as well just buy a new pair, you know? And I hope perhaps by being exclusively online, we can kind of eliminate the footwear that's not worth it, because the amount of effort the customer has to put in to bring their repair, I would assume it would be for a repair that's worthwhile for them and for us. Obviously time will tell, but that's my intention with it. If you know, when people make an appointment. Do you have like a memorable pair that you repaired that you're also proud of, but also like this crazy shoe or some project? We one time, I mentioned this one last time, but it was for a costume. But the shoes were made to look like a hoof of a horse, but they were super slippery. So we had to add rubber soling onto it, but make it look like a shoe horn, like a horseshoe. So that like that whole shape, and then adding the nails where the nails. That was a lot of fun, and it was even more fun because I didn't see the customer when he dropped it off, but it was an 80-year-old man that was like, I'm gonna rock these, and I know how to walk in these. I know. That's what made it even more epic. And I was just like, and they were like the soles were like this high. They were really like.
Wow. And he would wear it for like, you think it's for theater or like
some sort of like costume play? It was definitely for that. I'm not sure like if it was for theater or like personal or for a particular event maybe, or you know, costume party. But when he picked up, I thought he was picking up for someone else, you know, which was shame on me for presuming. But then he was like, no, they're for me. And so I was like, can you please try them on? I would love to like see you in them. And he totally did, and I loved it. It was great.
Oh, that's so great. That's awesome. Was that the most difficult pair to work with too, or not really?
It was awkward because they were so big, you know, like bending it and shaping it and stuff.
What's the most difficult pair you've worked on?
Kids' shoes are a bit difficult.
Kids'
they're so
shoes?
Small. They're really small, and like granted, a lot of the repairs for them are usually on the uppers, but whenever there is sole repair, I find it weird because I'm holding this tiny thing sanding, and sometimes I sand with one hand. It's really weird.
Right.
So I don't, I don't get them that often, but because I'm not used to them, I find them a bit like intricate. And then of course, you know, like patent materials, things like that, that like can really react through like absorbing glue or heat or something. Those are very tricky, and we're very mindful to just be careful with that kind of stuff and protect the uppers or the soles. But honestly, I think like if you just take your time and you sort of don't rush things and are present, you know, I even say this to myself, staff, like if you don't feel up for using the heavy machinery, or you don't think that you could do this type of work today, like don't, because most likely you're going to mess up yourself. So I think like that's really key to deal with like difficult repairs. So just take your time. You need to talk the repair out, talk it out, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right. Have you ever had a moment when you're like, oh, I might have messed it up, messed the shoe up? And if you did, how did you overcome it?
Yeah. Guys, did I mess up any shoes? Can you guys remember?
Yeah, I guess you know.
Oh yeah, I was asking the shoes. Okay, so here is the mess up, and I hope this person's not watching, but either way, they got their shoes and they're happy. But we had to reattach a sneaker sole, and but one of them, we wanted to remove them fully before we like reapplied them. This was not my mishap, but I had to like fix it. By using a little bit of heat to like melt the glue and remove the sole. Unfortunately, too much heat got used, and so then the midsole of the shoe shrunk. So when I came in the next day to try and adhere the shoes, I was like, oh, these are not matching up. Like, what's happening? I was like, oh, one is, the shoes shrunk, they're smaller. So I had to actually like replace the midsole. Like, luckily from the last that we bought from you, there was a pair that fit perfectly. I just relasted the uppers. I made new midsoles to fit the actual sole, and then re-glued the sole. So it was fine. But I think initially when I and also during COVID, it's difficult because we were working one staff member at a time in the shop, so we didn't see each other. So everything
so the communication
like, over the phone, text, exactly. And I remember like feeling like, oh my god, like fuck, you know. But I was like, okay, don't overreact. Like, don't get angry. Just let it sit for a second. I had to cool down, and then I, you know, called the staff member, and I was like, can I ask you a question? Like, can you run me through how you removed the sole so that I can figure out what had happened? And as soon as they said heat gun, I was like, okay, now I know. And then we knew how to like move forward. But for a moment, we're like, what do we do? Like, do we buy a new pair for this person? We like looked on Google and like obviously like this sneaker, so we couldn't find any. We were even joking to maybe contact Dominique from Shoe Surgeon. We're like, what do you got to help us out, you know? But we figured it out, and it was fine. Good. It's
teamwork.
I mean,
teamwork.
Like I said, we're in the business of repairing things. So ideally, we could repair our own mishaps. Very far and few between, but obviously those are really good learning moments, you know. And if something is to a point that we can't repair it, if we've messed it up that much, like we of course contact the customer and just, you know, tell them our human mistake and move forward as needed, kind of thing. But luckily
luckily good. Oh my goodness. And then I guess like, you know, for repairs, I was thinking I've had moments when it's like, oh yeah, it adds up. Like, what's like the most expensive pair that you've fixed ever? Like, it was just to a point where it was.
I mean, usually where it gets. Normally, like I would say, any customization when, let's say, if someone needs sort of their boots taken in or, you know, altered in that way, that can get a bit pricey, only because they oftentimes, they don't come in as brand new shoes. So then like we might have to like fix the lining, new soles might have to be added, and that can really add up. And I would say maybe things like that. And then of course like sneaker stuff, I up the price because it needs to be like worth our time, because sneakers are so temperamental, and sneakerheads are even more temperamental than that. So
Yeah.
we need to make sure that the ones that say yes to the job are really committed and understand what it
Yeah.
takes.
Yeah.
Because I think it's better to just protect yourself and make sure that you kind of fizzle out the customers that are
Right.
just kind of more talk than
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you also like wear the shoes that you fix as well? What kind of shoes are you wearing to like what kind of shoes do your staff wear?
So we actually, when we were in the market, one of the shops next to us, like they gave us all these Dansko clogs. So they wear them in the shop just because their feet are protected and they're softer. But I mean, my staffer, they're cool. They have like,
Yeah.
they know what they like. You know, it'll be like, maybe they'll buy like a pair of Doc Martens and then customize them with chunkier soles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you want to show them. Yeah, Zoe actually is wearing hers that she customized. She's just
Oh,
gonna
I want to
grab
see.
them. So that they're creative that way, you know, which I really love. And then, but like, do you mean trying customer shoes on or no? Like,
No.
okay,
I don't know, like your shoes. Do you?
yeah. I mean,
Well, I guess.
there was one pair of like really high glittery stiletto shoes that I put on my arm because I was like, wow, they're like sleeves. But that was the only time we've actually. But I think you've seen these. But yeah, she like added this chunky sole to the Docs, which
Cool.
is actually quite light than what
Yeah.
they appear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like one of her first full resoles that she did, and I think she did a good job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And clean, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Is your shop also all women?
It used to be. We now have like one male employee, and his name is Eske, and he actually took a course with Dominique from the Shoe Surgeon, and then fell in love with like same thing, like customizing sneakers, taking them apart, but wanted to learn more about that world. So yeah, he's our first male employee, and I think for now, because you know it's so hard to find people, it's more about like finding people that are like really and wanting to you know, who are serious and wanting to learn it and perhaps be part of our team. So it's lovely to see the people that are applying and things like that. So yeah, it used to be all females, and there's SK, and he's one of the gals, you know, he's one of the gang.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So I'm really excited. So you in the classes, I guess decon, recon sneakers is going to definitely be one of the things. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you also go to those, like, you know, the Shoe Service of America gatherings? Is there one in Canada? Or
no, so I'm part of their Facebook group, and those guys are amazing. Like I have so much respect for them because their knowledge is just like on a whole nother level. And what's really endearing to see is that, you know, the old timers are trying to like get with the times of what the young kids are doing these days. So I love when they started an Instagram account and they were taking like photos, or they start posting. And I think this is what the industry needs. It's just like, you know, that freshness to it. Like you can still do what you love to do and do it the way you did, but things have to change. You gotta like be able to offer something where people feel like it's familiar, it suits their lifestyle. You know.
Yeah.
But I saw that you had Jim on a while back.
Oh yeah.
McFarlane, right?
Yeah,
great guy. Like all of those, and women too. There's a bunch of women on the group as well that some of the work they do is really great. And I've been wanting to go to a convention in the States, and then unfortunately this year's is canceled. But I'm hoping, like I want, that's my mission. The fact that I don't have a retail space to have to be at physically. I can do more of these things. Like, come visit you. I'm gonna mention stuff and you know, that kind of thing. So,
very cool, very cool. Is there something like that in Canada too, like a Canada equivalent of like no,
like, they used to have a shoe show, but it was only just for brands to showcase what's next in season, and then maybe part of that would be any shoe care products. but that's about it.
Oh.
Like it was never geared towards shoe repair or shoemaking, or like nothing like what they do in Europe and the States, you know. In Europe more so than the States even. So I would love to participate in one of those, and then we also want to be part of the competitions as well that they do.
Yeah. But like for competitions, if it's a repair, does it have to be someone else's shoe that you're gonna bring?
Yeah.
Or like take photos?
Yeah, what they usually, like, they'll go to a Value Village or Salvation Army and buy a vintage pair. And the competitions work is that you need to keep one shoe original and then repair one shoe, and then you mail in the pair so that the judges can see what you have changed, how you changed it. And then there's also a portion of, you can completely customize it. So let's say if a shoe was cement constructed and you choose to sew it on instead, or change the color or the sole completely, whichever, like there's that option too. So it's like just regular repairization.
That's
and
exciting.
I think there might be a bespoke, section as well for it.
Wow.
But yeah, it's beautiful. The skill that these poplars have, it's I'm striving towards that, you know?
Yeah. And then at the convention, display everything, like so that people can come and see it as well? Or is it just the judges that get to see it?
Yeah, they from what I understand is they do display them, and then there is like an award ceremony where they give the actual trophies out.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, you know, the person like the trophy and get that. So yeah, it's really
cool. That is really
Maybe
cool.
One day I'll win
That's
this
something.
cup.
Yes, you should totally do it. You should totally do it and enter. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you were saying, I'm so excited about the future because I feel like now that you have a space, you can totally do the classes, totally start like to make shoes from scratch, and you also got some lasts from us.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're gonna start like
for that repair? Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, good. But would you do more like shoes from scratch? Like, would you start like a Soul Survivor shop line of shoes, or is that something that's like maybe, maybe not?
No, yeah, actually, we were just speaking with a branding agency as well. Like we're gonna do an in-house brand that's sort of the sister brand of Soul Survivor, and it's gonna be strictly custom leather goods. So anything from smaller goods, and then moving into have our own brand.
Yeah.
To just, you know, I don't know, like not necessarily to like offer more, because I know that we don't need more stuff in the world, but definitely that interest of like, you know, we've made this so we can stand by it because we can also repair it for you, and like sort of keep the loop closed in a way.
Oh, absolutely.
Buy from us, repair it from us, you know, buy us and so on.
And they can also learn how to make it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it's
we're
gonna
really
be cool.
That.
Yeah, very cool. And do you also repair bags too? Do people come with bags?
Yes, we do all types of leather goods. So belts, jackets, bags. Wow. You know, I posted a video recently where I was attaching a zipper on an LV, a Louis Vuitton bag, that kind of stuff. And already just from posting that on social media, people then inquired about more Louis Vuitton repairs, which was great. So yeah, we do all of that stuff. Again, we were never really as present online as we are now because we were just busy working. But because we're still, but obviously now online is part of that work because we've eliminated the one-on-one. So we need to try and move people that way, just showing this is what we do and this is how we can do it, and hopefully, you know, be able to sustain the business for another 8 years. Ideally.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like in 3 to 5 years, what do you want to be doing? Maybe even 10 years.
Ooh, 10 years. I want to have survived COVID, number one.
Yes.
You know, no more pandemic. I mean, yeah, ideally these things that we've discussed where the space has grown, we can offer more things. Our team has grown. and really focus on like the bespoke side of things. I
Yeah.
would love that. And then perhaps maybe sort of, I don't know, in 10 years, hand the torch over to someone else and I can focus on teaching only, and not sort of the hands on, you know. I hope my body a long time of being so physical and hands on, but I do understand like perhaps like just taking it easier later on is something that I need to take into consideration. So teaching would be ideal. And hopefully maybe by then I can even come up with a Toronto like trade school of sorts, or like a class.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we can contact local colleges and just say, hey, like if you have a woodworker, you should also have a cobbler. And I don't know.
Yeah. And then I was also gonna ask how do you find the staff, and then how long have they been working for you? Like, so if you have a goal of like maybe down the line you want to hand the torch, have they like stayed with you for a long time?
I
For
mean,
example, like Zoe.
Zoe, how long have you been with us? 3 years? So Zoe's been with us for like 2.5, 3 years. And then everyone's is like going into the year mark. Because the team, like we have staff that were with us for 3-4 years, and then sort of the evolution of after 4 years you sort of move on and do other things, and then like a whole new round of staff came. Luckily, I've been fortunate enough that whoever has joined the team, they really have been with me for a good amount of time, that it was worthwhile for both parties. I would hate to have to teach someone, train them, and them being like, actually, I don't like this, because, and I try to find that out like very early in the relationship. Yeah, exactly. But luckily, like they're committed and they're so excited to be back and ready to get into the swing of things, and they're sort of on the same page as where I'm at with where I want to take the business. And
it's great.
It's lovely to share the excitement with other people, that especially because for 6 months, I've been so lonely. I'm sure you feel the same. It's nice to have people around.
Oh, that's gonna be so good. I'm really excited for it. And then the apprentices that are gonna come in, are they newer? I remember like last time I spoke, I think the employee you have now, who's a guy, might have been a intern or apprentice.
An apprentice, correct? Yeah, he was, and he has now like transitioned into employee, which is great. The other 3 apprentices they had started with us back in September of last year. And we were doing it once a week for 4 hours every week, until March pretty much, and then that sort of had come to a halt. So ideally, people find us through social media, or they'll just like read about us online somehow and are intrigued by the story, or they want to know more, and they tend to just like email us, and then we like move on with the process, sort of thing. I'm sure that probably now with the pandemic also happening, I feel a lot of people are gonna shift and wanting to change their careers, so there's probably gonna be less like 9-to-5 office jobs and maybe more hands-on jobs. I don't know. Like I just sense that some people might sort of have that life-changing moment where they want to do something completely different. And that's great. I just hope that, it's people that really have a true like love for it and want to stick with it, because honestly, the process of learning takes a long time. Like I've been in the craft for like 10 years collectively, but I feel like a junior and I'm still everything else. So for themselves, and also just for me as a business, like there has to be that commitment. Otherwise, I think it's just, like you're not going to get far, and like you can't rely on that instant gratification that you usually get from everything else around us.
Oh, cool. So so I guess all these apprentices, I really hope that they stick around and really learn the craft and grow like together.
I
hope
think
we
so
can
too.
start.
Like
It's hard to hear. There's a lag, sorry. I do hope the travel can open up a little bit. And I would love to come and
Yes,
visit.
let's
Yeah, definitely. Toronto's all definitely on the list.
please. Our door is always open for you. And yeah, and I would love to come and visit you and sort of see you in your new space and like perhaps doing like privates and all that. That would be a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
that would be fun. Like a skill exchange. I really would love to learn like some of the machines that you have that I don't have
Yeah,
anymore. And but yeah, I feel like that's
no, that's
possible. But
I
do you
think
feel
so.
like, yes, like you're on the not not that I guess it's kind of like stereotyping a little bit, but you know how shoe industry or even shoe repair, I feel like you're being like you're the woman, you're young, like you're like this next generation shoe repair. Like you're kind of like, running with a torch. So I really hope that
Yeah,
you can nurture some more people and more like interest in the shoe repair world. That would
for
be
sure.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think like when people can see themselves in some, in this case, it would be like other women seeing themselves in me if they feel inspired at all or are saying, hey, it's actually doable. Like I could be in a male dominated trade and still succeed. Yeah, 100%. It's so doable. And I think collectively, like as a society, we need representation of one another, right? Like we
Yeah.
are such a
Yeah.
diverse group of
Yeah.
people and humans, and
Yeah.
it's important to be able to see yourself in another person that's doing something you never thought you would have a chance to get to do,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, and perhaps maybe that's sort of what's been the positive side on us is that it's been so
Yeah.
successful to see that we were all females and like and that
Yeah.
people want to support women, but at the same
Yeah.
time, again, anyone can do it, and it could be a young male that's doing it
Yeah.
differently than me and much
Yeah.
better. And it's just all about like, how much do you love it? Are you being true to
Right.
yourself? Is it in alignment with
Right.
what you believe in or
Right.
what you want to put there? Like, I think
Right.
I think these questions are so important, especially even during a pandemic when you feel like the world's completely upside down and might come to an end. It's like you really should be focusing on the truth of things rather
Right.
than the hype of it all, you know?
Right. And especially
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, I also feel like as a consumer, like I feel like people are rethinking of buying things, new things. And I feel like repair is like it's as long as shoes have been in existence, shoe repair and cobbling has been in existence. And I feel like you guys are like forefront in a way, even though it's like a very old trade or like with a long history. I feel like you guys have been like sustainability, upcycling to like repairing, and like making things
Yeah.
last longer. I feel like you guys are kind of at old school way, like forefront of shoes.
Yeah, I think we're just relatable to the times, right? Like the
Yeah,
younger
it
people
is.
are concerned about the climate and like what does this planet look like? What will humanity
Yeah,
feel and look like? It's just all those things are so
yeah,
important. So yeah, the fact if we can just you know, do actual things that we care about, and then that care
yeah,
can trickle down to the next person, so important. And that's why we love working with all the vintage stores in Toronto, because we know that they pick beautiful things and we can help them keep that for another 30 years to go,
yeah, yeah,
like why buy something fast fashion when like this has been around forever, and fast fashion actually copied that, and it's just
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm looking forward to see what you're gonna come up with next, you know? And I'll
thank you. Yeah,
definitely
I'm really
come.
excited. Times are
Yeah,
yeah, please do. I mean, like I said, times are so weird, and it's just we're just trying to do what we love to do and stay positive as best as we can, not to like put a veil over things and pretend like everything's great. Like the move
yeah,
was very hard, the change was
yeah,
very hard, and it's fearful as far as like how will we survive, but I also feel extremely positive because it's making us step out of our comfort zone. So we need to really think out of the box and even more so set an example for the next generation rather than just ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. You're like adapting to the times. So like it's fascinating to see. So thanks so much for sharing your time today and like your space, beautiful space. Can't wait to see what comes out of it next.
I can't wait to share with you all.
I'll keep an eye out on Instagram.
Thank you. It was so nice to catch up with you, Keiko, and thank you for
so good to see you.
talks and getting so many people involved. And I know it's taking a lot of your energy, but someone's got to do it, and you stepped up. I love it. Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, see you soon.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.